Hello everyone, this is editorial video for problem E, magical numbers. Let's quickly see the problem statement. In problem statement, we are given a permutation P of integers between 1 and n, and along with that we are given Q queries. In each query, we are given two integers L and R, which describes the continuous subsection of the permutation. And our task is to find the greatest possible value of CV, which we can achieve using the numbers present in the specified subsections. Now, what is this CV? CV is equals to P into Q, where P is the prime and Q is a composite number. This is the example we are given. Let's see this example. In this example, we are given a permutation P of numbers from 1 to 5. This is the permutation we are given. Along with that, we are given three queries. This is query number 1, this is query number 2, this is query number 3. Now, we want to find the max value of CV in each query. CV is equals to P into Q, where P is a prime number and Q is a composite number. Now we know both P and Q are positive integers. So to maximize CV, we just need to maximize P and Q. Let's see in query 1, we can take this as P and this as Q. So we will get 20 as our answer. In query number 2, we are having only one pair of P and Q. This is P and this is Q. So we will get our answer as 8. In query number 3, we do not have any pair of P and Q. So answer will be 0. Now, what is the main observation? First, to maximize CV, we just need to maximize P and Q. Now, and we also need to mark, firstly we need to mark the permutation, the numbers in permutation 1 to n, that which is prime and which is not. For that we can just run a sieve from 1 to n, and in n log n time we will just mark all the numbers as prime or which are not prime. After that, the numbers which are not prime will be composite number, except this one, it is neither prime nor composite. We will use sieve to mark numbers in range 1 to n as prime or not. After that, we just need to find the max value of P and Q in each query. Now there are many ways to do it. Let's see some approaches. Firstly, let's see the brute force approach. For brute force approach, we can just iterate over the range from L to R and find the max value of P and max value of Q. But the complexity will go up to Qn, because for each query we can go max up to n elements. We can iterate over up to max n elements. So it will obviously lead to TLE. Constraints are quite high. And we can also try using range. We can also try using segment tree for the range maximum query, but it will be doing each query in log n, and it will also lead to TLE. You can try both the recursive segment tree and iterative segment tree. Both will be resulting in TLE only. And the best way is to use the sparse table. It will take n log n time for building the sparse table, but we will be able to do each query in O1 time. It will be taking the complexity OQ. I have ignored the complexity of the C, which is n log n, because n is up to 40,000 and Q is quite large, and we need to focus on handling the queries as fast as possible. Now I will be discussing sparse table, how we will be using sparse table. We know that sparse table, in sparse table, we store the answer for each range which is having its width or length is a power of 2. So that's what we will be doing. Now what is the max? Let's say this is the max width we can get. So k must be equals to log 2 of number of elements we are having. We will be taking the floor of it, and we know that each number can be expressed as a power of 2, like we can write it in a binary format. So we will be using this fact in the sparse table. Let's say this is the table ij. It is just like a dp table only. It tells table ij will tell us the answer for elements from range from index I to I plus 2 to power j minus 1. This I is telling that from which index we need to start, and j is telling that the width or the length of the range which we are having is starting from I and is having the length as 2 to power j. So this will be the element which we will be having, like table ij tell that we are starting from this index I, and the length of this is 2 to power j, will be 2 to power j. So this element will be I plus 2 to power j minus 1. Now let's try building the sparse table for this. We will understand it by building it. Let's see. These are the indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is j, which can go max up to 2, which is floor of log 2 5. Now let's say in this pair I am storing prime here. I am storing maximum value of prime here and maximum value of composite number here. And in this 0 means the width is 2 to power 0, which is equals to 1. J equals to 1 means that the width is 2 to power 1, which is 2. J equals to 2 means width is 2 to power 2, which is 4. Now here the width is only 1, means we are having only one element. If it is starting from index 0 and we are having only one element, so range will be from 0 to 0, and we are having that this 5 is a prime. So we have taken 5 here, and here we have taken 0. We have taken 0 here because it will help us to make our answer, because the answer will be 0 when we will not be able to find any p or q. So I am taking 0 whenever I cannot find a p or q. Now for this 2, we know that 2 is a prime, so I have taken 2 here as a prime, and 2 is not a composite number, so I have taken 0 here. A number cannot be composite and prime simultaneously. It will be either one of them or none of them. Now in 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 second index element we have 4. It is a composite number, so I have taken 4 here and 0 here. Now 1 is neither prime nor composite, so I have taken 0 0 here, and 3 is a prime number, so I have taken 3 here and 0 here. Now I have calculated all the answers for width 1. Now I will be moving to width 2. In this width 2, we just need to store answers for range having width 2. Like let's say we are starting from 0 and we are looking for width 2. So we will combine answer for 0 and 1. So we will get max of 5 and 2 as 5 and max of 0 and 0 as 0. Now we are starting from index 1 and we need width 2. So we will need elements 1 and 2. So we are combining answers of 1 and 2 both. Like this we will be going till here. We cannot get the answer here because we are not having anything to make it pair with and get our answer. Now when we move to j equals to 2, we need width as 4. Like here we need the value for index from 0, starting from index 0 and having a width of 4. Like we need from 0, 1, 2 and 3. So we need answer for this. So so this is answer for 0 to 1. So we have already taken it along with, like this is 0, 1 and 2 and 3. 0, 1, 2 and 3. For 0 and 1 we have already taken the answer from this, and for 2 to 3, and for 2 to 3 we can just take from here, like this is from 2 and it is having with 2. So we can get 2 and 3 from here. So we will combine it like this. Now for this, now for I equals to 1 and width equals to 4, we need from 1, 2, 3 to 4. We need the answer for these indexes combined. So we can take for 1 to 2 directly from here, and for 3 to 4 we can take it from here. Like we can take max value of 2 and 3, which is 3, and max value of 4 and 0, which is 4. That's how we will be building our sparse table. Now let's see how we will be handling the queries. Let's say this is the query 1. It is already given in the example also. Let's say this is the query 1. I have changed it to 0 index base. I am more comfortable with that. After that, we know that width of this width of this range is 3 and log 2 of 3 is 1. So by doing this log 2, we can find the index I. We can find the index I. We can find the value I such that 2 to power I will be less than or equal to width, and 2 to power I plus 1 will be greater than width. And we also know 2 to power I plus 1 is just 2 to power I plus 2 to power I. Let's see how we will be using this. Now there is one more observation, like let's say this is the range for which we need to find our answer. If we know the answer for this part, and we also know the answer for this part, this is the max range query, then the answer for this whole range will be the max of this answer and this answer. The We are having some overlapping elements, but it will never be able to affect the answer because we are taking max. So even if they repeat, then also they will never be able to affect the answer. We will be using this only. Like we know that log 2 of 3 is 1. So this is the value of I. So we will take the range from starting from 0 and having a width 2 to power 1, which is 2. So we will take this range, and from last we will again take the range of width 2. And let's see this query 2. Similarly here we will be going to change this to 0 base first. After that we can see that log 2 5 is equals to 2. I am taking the floor value of log 2 of 5, which is 2. Again we can break it in two segments, like this is the segment 1, it is having width 4, which is 2 to power 2, and from last also we can take this. We can take the answer from starting from index 1 and having width 4, and we can just take the maximum, and we can take the max of both the answers and that will bring us the answer which we need for the range specified. Now let's see this query 3. We are having the elements from 1 to 4 with this 4. Log 2 of 4 is 2. So we can just use two segments having width of 2 to power 2, which is 4. These are the segments. First I have started from 0 to 0 to 3, and after that I have from last I have again taken the 4 elements. That's what we will be doing. Now let's move to the code part now. We can always see that it will always be breaking into at max two segments, so we will be able to do it in oven time only. Now let's see the code part. Here I have defined f as first, s as second, and pair of intent as pii. These are the arrays. Is prime will be having value false as default, and log2 will be having the values as 0 by default because these are global. This is the prime sieve. Let's see how I will be doing it. Firstly, I have called the prime sieve. I am just doing pre-computation of all the primes. Is prime will be marking whether the number I is prime or not. This is the simple sieve. You can see it will be taking n log n complexity. Now we are taking int muls1 and pw equals to 0. We are just storing the value of floor of log 2 I is just storing the floor of value of log 2 of I. That's what we are doing here. This is also the pre-computation we are doing because I don't know whether this log 2 I, this inbuilt function, takes what complexity. So it will be better to pre-compute it. After that we can take the input, the n as, like we will be having the permutation from integers from 1 to n. I have calculated the k. I will be having table of pair of intent table n k plus 1, like we found here. Like in this example we found this k as 2, so we have taken the number of columns as k plus 1. That's what we are doing here. After that we are just building our sparse table. Table ij will be telling is just telling the answer for a from I to I plus 2 to power j minus 1. Firstly we are building our first column. In this we are iterating over all the rows. And first column, if x equals to 1, then we know it is neither prime nor composite, so we are storing 0 0. If x is prime, then we are storing x 0, and if it is composite, then we are storing 0x. Now let's build the other columns. We are iterating from column number 1 up to column number k, and we are just checking whether the index we will get at the last of range, like the range is beginning from I and it is going to I plus 2 to power j minus 1. So we are just checking that this index which we are getting should be less than n. Then only we will be able to store the answer for this range. And after that we are just doing max of, like you can see here, we just check the answer from the back. We just check the answer from the previous column and it is having same row, and then we are jumping from the previous I to from I to 2 to power j minus 1 to get the next interval. Like like we can, like 2 to power I plus 1 can be expressed as 2 to power I plus 2 to power I. So we are finding just the smaller power ranges which we can combine to form this, which will be just one smaller power of 2. That's what we are doing here. Similar thing we done for composite number. After doing that, we are handling the queries. For each query, I am taking the input as L and R. I have, and this is the width. R minus L plus 1 will be the width from L to R. Now I have taken K as log 2 of R minus L plus 1. I have reduced L and R to bring them to zero based index. After that, I am just doing the same thing which we have discussed here. Like we will find the value of I such that 2 to power I is less than, or you can take this as K. This is the value of K we are finding here, such that 2 to power K is less than or equal to width, and 2 to power K plus 1 is greater than width, and this K will be log 2 of width only. So we have founded the K. After that, we are just taking the intervals, like this is the interval L to from L to L plus 2 to power K minus 1, and this is the interval from R minus 2 to power K plus 1 to R. You can see it here. Like in this case, we have taken from 0 to 2 to power 0 to 0 plus 2 to power 2 minus 1, and here we are just subtracting 4 minus 2 to power 2, which is 4, plus 1. By doing 4 minus 4, we will reach to 0, and then we will add 1 to reach this 1. So this is what we are doing. Similar thing we are doing for the composite number. So that's it. After that, we are just printing p dot f, like pair dot first into pair dot second, and we are printing the result for each query. That's it. Thanks for watching.